bloodline, don't tell me nothing about the damn devil. Yeah, cool, got you fearing you. No religion, but I'm spiritual. The man used it as propaganda to divide us all. I'm just giving truth. The earth in fear with the black man. The earth in love with the black man. Even down to fashion. They take the culture, then cash in. What you know about Gary Morgan? What you know about Richard Spikes? Your luxury car wouldn't have a shift. Your intersection wouldn't have a light. All praise to the black woman. See, without her, you wouldn't have a life. Have respect. Find yourself disrespecting her, then we at your neck. You don't want us in America, then return back what we did for her. You would have nothing on this blood soil. You all spoiled. Matter of fact, we was here before you. Your history books full of falsehood. You can't educate us. We know you dropped crack in the hood. The blow our families up, it didn't detonate us. As you can see, it didn't separate us. All it really did was elevate us. You can't kill the original people of the earth. Is you fucking crazy? I am a god in the flesh. I got the blood of a slave. Look at the black on my skin. A beautiful color of shade. Don't be discouraged to say black is black gorgeous. Black is black flawless. Black is black power. I am a god in the flesh. I got the blood of a slave. Look at the black on my skin. A beautiful color of shade. Don't be discouraged to say black is black gorgeous. Black is black flawless. Black is black power. I'm Nat Turner with the smoking gun. Change the cone when the sermon stop. The pastor telling me to keep praying. Life telling me to buy a Glock. The news tells us it's our fault. When we shot down by the cops, we witnessing a modern day lynching. No ropes when they tie the knot. Look at you trying to buy a watch. Look at them finna buy your block, then put you out. Starbucks on your corner, that's how they push you out. Then raise the price. Grandma lived there for years, every day of life. Now she forced to undersell. The system built for you to stay confined. I am a god in the flesh. I got the blood of a slave. Look at the black on my skin. A beautiful color of shade. Don't be discouraged to say black is black gorgeous. Black is black flawless. Black is black power. I am a god in the flesh. I got the blood of a slave. Look at the black on my skin. A beautiful color of shade. Don't be discouraged to say black is black gorgeous. Black is black flawless. Black is black power.
Man, I had to get it started with some old. Hold on, I gotta play some more, y'all. I'm too pumped up right now. That Alabama, Waterfront Brawl got me super pumped right now. So I'm playing all of my Black Power music. Y'all gotta forgive me. Let me right now, family, take a moment to share this show, share this discussion, family. We getting ready to go in. I got Baba Amin in the building. I got my sister Kia in the building. We're going to be talking about all that good Black power, all that revolutionary Black power that we saw at the Alabama waterfront this past Saturday. Our brothers and our sisters got it in. And so we're going to be discussing that and much more, right? DeSantis, he lies about slavery. He's running around telling people, try to teach our babies that slavery was a benefit to Black people. Then you got Biden, talking about erecting this Emmett Till and Mamie Till national monument. So family, we're going to be getting it in today. So right now, thumb up the video, share the video. I got to play one more Black Power song. I got to, family. I just have to. I'm feeling the energy. I got to. Here we go. Feeling this energy, man.
This one's for the people. I can show you better than I can tell you. God, put your fists up in the air for Black power, cause you know we got that. Black power, it's the melanin in your skin. Black power, change the world, rise above. Black power, put your fists up in the air for Black power, cause you know we got that. Black power, it's the melanin in your skin. Black power, change the world, rise above lie. Black power, 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 black power. Stand up, rise above for black power, black power, black power, black power, black power. Black power, black power. Put your fists up in the air for. I got my fist up in the air for. Black power. Now I say peace, king, not nigga. 187 on a racist cop, nigga. The pain, the change from which we rise above. We don't die, we multiply with the love. Although we cry, we closer to the plug. Fuck being fly, black fly, put your toasters up. We the only ones to save the day. BRS, the only ones that make the change. He don't love you, girl. His mind on the dope game. Stay, you love the way he's stroking his rope chain. They thinking they fading us, but really they making us. I came from chocolate and bagging, you know, scraping up. I realized the message is bigger than making history. The devil got the whole industry. They wanna be niggas and hoes in the industry. I know God sees what the world don't. As I write this the realest that I wrote. I know God sees what the world don't. As I write this, the realest that I wrote. Put your fists up in the air for Black Power, cause you know we got that. Black Power, it's the melanin in your skin. Black Power, change the world, rise above. Black Power, put your fists up in the air for Black Power, cause you know we got that. Black Power, it's the melanin in your skin. Black Power, change the world, rise above live. Black Power.
I could never be pessimistic.
I'm into getting more paid, striving like an optimistic. In these last days, I was in my prayers, can't put one past me. With the energy of God, you can't last me. They are evil, they words shall not cast me. I had to make it out the trenches at time. I play both sides of the fences. Pause, chill, I don't mean to be offensive, but what I say, I meant it. Other words, it is what it is. Did a couple bids, now I live for the kids. In this parallel world, I'm free. No jail cell. Watch what I say, cause it's that real. I gotta keep on writing, feeding their spirit with the true and living. Now mega star brand like true religion. I'm hearing this rig, whoever win elections. No, I'm not big or pop up in the session. One thing we got in common, it's a blessing. I can only be a dugger when I'm finessing. Throw it up for Black Power cause you feel the message. Throw it up for Black Power cause you real. Put your fists up in the air for Black Power cause you know we got that. Black Power, it's the melanin in your skin. Black Power, change the world, rise above. Black Power, put your fists up in the air for Black Power cause you know we got that. Black Power, it's the melanin in your skin. Black Power, change the world, rise above live.
Black Power, Black Power, Black Power to the Maadian family. I'm pumped up. You already know, family, it's Black August, and we already acting up. You already know if you look at our historical timeline in August, that's when a lot of things kicked off, right? During the month of August. And so you already see, let me see. That happened on Saturday. Saturday was August the 5th. So right at the beginning of Black August, you see that revolutionary spirit come out in our people right down there in the Alabama waterfront. So shout out to those brothers and sisters that put in that good Black Power work. I loved it. I love to see, us being on code, right? So a brother, a security guard, they started biking that brother for doing his job. And before you know it, our brothers and sisters came out of the woodworks and came to that brother's defense. We were on code. So shout out to those brothers and sisters. Shout out to those brothers and sisters in Alabama. Family, take a moment out right now to thumb up the video, family. Thumb up the video. Also, share. If you're on Facebook, post the link. If you're on Twitter, tweet the link. If you're on whatever social media platform, there's so many of them now. So make sure that you post the link, family. Let's fill up this virtual space. Let's at least get 100,000 people in the building. I see the Maadian family is always in the building. Peace and love to the Maadian family. Family I have in the building, Baba Amin, and I have our good Sister Key in the building to help me unpack what we saw online. Now, I know you all have seen it. I'm going to tell you like this. I was talking to my cousin on the phone today, and she said, this was one of the best 48 hours I've ever experienced on the internet. I mean, I laughed, you all. I mean, my shirt is on the way. There are a couple of shirts for sale. I got a shirt that's coming with the white chair. I also have a shirt that's coming that shows us a depiction of the, a picture from the actual scene. You know what I mean? So brothers and sisters are making shirts. People are doing reenactments. Memes are going around. I mean, the internet has been on fire for the past 48 hours. And you see, I had to go live to talk about it. And I had to wear my BB Fahodier shirt, a BB Fahodier, African liberation, the BB Fahodier. So I had to wear my shirt. And that's why I'm so pumped up. Not only because of that, but it's Black August, family. This is our month. This is our month of revolution, Ashe. So I said, daggone, these white folks messed up, man. Don't do it. Don't do it, period. But damn sure don't try to test Black folks in August. Let me show you a little something before I bring Baba on. You know, Baba's like a walking book, but I need my stuff. I need my little stuff. So let me show you all, share this with you. And I know Baba probably can appreciate this. So let's look at Black August, family. Let's look at Black August. So in 1619, you had the arrival of the first Africans, right, to the 13 colonies. Then on August the 21st, you had 1791, you had the Haitian Revolution. All right. On the 30th, you had Gabriel Prosser's slave revolt that was discovered. In August, you had Nat Turner's slave rebellion. In August, you had the Underground Railroad activities happening. August is also the birth month of Marcus Garvey, Ashe. All right. August is also the birth month of Russell Maroon. I think that says Chote. This is also the birth month of Fred Hampton. This is also the birth month of Mutulu Shakur, peace be upon his soul, who just became an ancestor. This was also the month of the March on Washington. This was also the month of the Watts Rebellion, right? In August, it says the FBI circulates, it says intel order to disrupt Black liberation groups. So that was going on in August. You had a courthouse slave rebellion. Ashe to Brother Knowledge Born, who brought that to my attention the other day. He could unpack that as well. Then it says the capital of Republic of New Africa. They said that was attacked by the FBI and police. You had the assassination of George Jackson. That took place in August. You had Jalil Munt. I think it says Jalil Munt. I can't hardly read this because it looks kind of blurry. In Washington, they were captured. You had the police raided on the move that happened in Philadelphia, those brothers and sisters. It said Mumia was scheduled for execution, which was stopped by resistance in August. So a lot of stuff happened in August. So I was thinking to myself, and I got to bring on my good brother, Baba, I was thinking to myself, oh no, man, if you're going to do something in August, don't do it to Black folks in August. So long live the spirit of Nat Turner. Long live the spirit of Henry Highland Garnett. Long live the spirit of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and long live the Haitian Revolution warriors, and all of our warriors, all of our ancestors, our honored ancestors who rebelled during the month of August. Bob, I got to bring you on. You know, Bob, I get too pumped up, Bob. Peace and love to you, Bob. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? I was about to go outside on the block and sell folding chairs as a fundraiser for the Uhuru Academy, but we're going but you know, I'd rather be on here talking to you, Dr. Mayad. What's going on?
Hey, nothing much. I know you went live. Live, or is the, I don't want to pronounce it wrong. It's talking about the algorithm, but tell me again.
The algorithm.
About the algorithm. You went live talking about this last night. It was just too Baba, I'm telling you, I'm on cloud 9 right now, and I promise you, Baba. I promise you, Baba. And so I'm glad that you took time out of your schedule to be with my listeners and I tonight. Peace and Black power to everyone under the sound of my voice. Baba, I know they're probably like, Doc, where you been? Right? It's been like been 2 weeks. I haven't gone live at all, Baba, you know, for about 2 weeks. Got a
little island glow going on over there.
Little
island glow, got a little shine going on over there. What's going on? Somebody been sun-kissed this summer. What's happening?
Baba, I had a ball. So I just, you know, I went to Jamaica with the family.
Yeah.
Went there with my aunt. We were celebrating her 60th birthday. And we went there as a family for 1 week. And we had a beautiful time just, you know, on a resort. Doing our thing, but you know, I had to tiptoe out. I had to tiptoe off the resort. You know, we in Jamaica, and Jamaica has a lot of rich history there. You know, the Maroons, there were a lot of Maroon communities there. And so shout out to my brothers and sisters in a compound town. I went to a compound town right in the mountains. It took me 3 hours to get there. Met up with some brothers and sisters and took a tour there. Shout out to the brothers and sisters in 9 Mile, where Bob Marley and his mom and his relatives are laid to rest. Had an opportunity to go to 9 Mile. And so shout out to those brothers and sisters in Jamaica. We had a beautiful, beautiful time. And then, Bob, I've been busy. You know, like we just finished the UACI camp. You know what I mean, Baba? Shout out to you and I and our team. We had a wonderful team. Baba. So we just finished the UACI Summer STEM Camp. And family, if you missed the UACI Summer STEM Camp, Baba Amin and I will be executing the camp in the winter time.
Right.
So make sure that make sure that when we send out the announcement that you hop on this, because the slots are going to be limited. We're only taking 30 students at a time. Okay. Because we want to make sure that we give these children an intimate learning experience. And so make sure when the announcement come out that you hop on. And so Baba, cheers to you and I for another successful UACI Summer STEM Camp, Baba. Baba, it was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Back from parents and students. I had one parent called and said, my baby wants to be an engineer now. She's never mentioned wanting to go into engineering before. Now she's saying that she wants to be an engineer, and so that's what these experiences are all about. We're providing our babies with a menu of options that a lot of them don't even know exist. And if they know they exist, they don't know how to access it or get on that track or get on that pipeline to get there. And so the UACI STEM Camp is not just a camp experience, it's a pipeline experience. It's a transformative experience. You plug your babies into this STEM pipeline, we got them.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And that's period. You plug them in, we got them. We got them, family. We got them, family. So this is African Senate STEM, meaning that the STEM, you're going to be learning about African STEM history, and you're going to be learning about, technical concepts and ideas, but all within the context of African people. And that is what we are given, which is so unique, family. So make sure that you get your child in there. Shout out to Baba Imhotep, Baba Adisa, Baba Immoral, those brothers from PLM. We just finished the Asafo training camp on Saturday. So we just graduated. I think it was like 12 or 13 young Asafo warriors, took them through an experience for 1 week. And those young brothers worked. All right. Yeah. And so again, the aim of that is to cultivate intelligent warriors. And that's what we're doing. And we saw, when I saw the Alabama Waterfront Brawl, I sent it to Bob. I said, this is a Asafo behavior right here.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is a Asafo behavior right here. So we're cultivating more Asafo. Shout out to that 16-year-old young Asafo, by the way, that swam Baba across, took his shoes off. Come on, jumped off the daggone boat, swim across to help that brother. You know what I mean? So shout out to that young warrior. So shout out to BPLM and that team. And then also, family, I ran 3 camps in Baltimore City, and I ran a camp at Morgan. And so, family, it was literally 6 camps. Okay, so that's why your girl hasn't been on here for 2 weeks. And then, Bob, I had to take a week out to just chill. You know what I mean?
You needed that. And you probably, your family members probably had to intervene a couple of times. Are you on that phone?
Yeah.
Or you put that laptop up. I have a hard time believing that you just chilled without intervention. Because you once you get going, you're going, and your mind is constantly working. You're constantly creative. You're constantly building. So shout out to the family for making sure Dr. Mayat relax and chill, because I know you didn't do it alone.
No, I didn't, Bob. I didn't. It was hard, Bob. It was hard, but it was like, nope. Everybody, nope. Yeah. So I didn't go live, and I plan on shutting down for another week. And so I'm going to go hard this week. I'll be live today, tomorrow. I'll be going live periodically this week, and then I'm going to shut down for another week, because the semester is getting ready to start for me, and I need some time out. I'm learning, Baba. The elders keep saying, you got to pace yourself. Don't burn yourself out. And so I said, you know what? After this week, I'm going to shut down again. And then, you know what I'm saying, Baba? And then resume. But Baba, I know you ain't talking. Baba, you were talking. I said, this is the pot calling the kettle black. Because even when I was with you, in Columbia, you was working. You worked the whole time. Even when we were chilling, you were working. When we were chilling,
you work so much that some of it you don't even realize is work.
Yeah, facts.
You get so used to taking a meeting. You get so used to getting on a phone call or sending some documents. Like I'm watching a movie and someone needs a transcript. So I'm watching a movie, designing a transcript, and but to me, I'm watching a movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so but we got to learn how to rest. We got to get our rest. Got to spend time with our families. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, let me look.
This brother right here, though.
Yeah, he look. Okay, let me unmute him. I had to get him that.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, brother Knowledge Born? Peace and love to you,
Knowledge
warrior.
Born, Allah. Let's see where he at. That's the hardest working black man in media right there.
Who you telling? Who you telling, Baba?
Yeah,
Can you hear us, Knowledge Born? Can you hear us, brother?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. We hear you loud and clear.
I'm on here with my two favorite Africans, the greatest African warrior minds of our time in Black August. Okay, so I'm just listening and loving on y'all. The contributions that y'all both have given, are giving, and will continue to give to our people are, incalculable. Like we can't even calculate the amount of impact that's there necessary with working with our young minds, working with our young minds and inspiring them to action. So we see insurrections taking place like this, we can celebrate them on a multitude of levels. That the young brother that was in the water is representative of the whole academy spirit. You see what I'm saying?
Come on.
Y'all fighting for them young minds. Look, he was swimming. You understand what I'm saying? Like the lessons used to say they wanted to go back home, but they couldn't swim 9,000 miles. That brother would have swam 9,000 miles. And he said this is a reflection of how he was raised. So in that spirit, he's 16 years old. Little Bobby Hutton was 16 years old, Dr.
Come
Meyer.
on. Teach.
Jonathan Jackson was 16 years old. So the Marin County Courthouse happened on August the 7th, which was yesterday. He was 16. What did he know that we're missing? So those young Jonathans, those Lil Bobby Huttons, Lil Bobby Hutton was assassinated 2 days after Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. So that set off the chain of events that went into motion that was after our young people.
No, he went out. Baba, did you
There's
hear
no
him?
coincidence that.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were kind of choppy. You started getting a little choppy, Knowledge. But I hear what you're saying. You were saying that when he got assassinated, and you said those chain of events between the courthouse and then him getting assassinated, you were saying it set off a chain of events.
It set up a chain of events that we saw as the destruction of the Black Panther Party for self-defense systematically. So if you look at it from Fred Hampton Sr., whose birthday is in this month, as you was alluding to earlier, all the way through. So we look at those dates and times. I was really saying that there's no coincidence that 1791, August 21st, the Haitian Rebellion is happening in August 21st, 1971. We have George Jackson's assassination on the same day. So I said all of that to say,
oh, there you go again.
It's an honor to be in your presence because y'all have. Want me to leave out and come back, or?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Leave out and come back, and it's a bit choppy. Here, leave out and here reset it. Here, reset it. All right, I got Sister Kia in the building. Peace and love to you. And Baba, you see my cousin. She said, yes, we had to make her, right? So my cousin was like, yeah. She's like, I ain't do it by myself, right? So peace and love to you, Sister Kia. How you doing, Queen?
Great. Thank you for having me. I'm just here.
Yeah. You know, today we getting ready to build on this Alabama waterfront. I'm getting ready to show the clip on how it got started, right? Like, how did this thing get started? And so I'm gonna play it really quickly. It's not a lot. I just want to play this so folks can see it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people saw it. But what happened, family, is the security guard, that brother was just doing his job. That's it. You know, white folks operate with a superiority complex. And so they parked their boat, in a place where they were told you can't park here, right? He told them you couldn't park here. They moved the boat. They just left it. So the brother took matters in his own hand. He just started moving the boat because there was a boat. There was actually a river boat coming in, and they needed the space. So the brother like, well, let me just move this down. You know what I mean? And when he did that, that's what sparked the whole thing. But here we go, family. Let's pay attention. Here we go. Where's the volume? Oh, here it is.
Yes.
crew from our little dinner cruise boat. He got off our ship to go over there to move that black pontoon boat on his own because those guys who parked there were told not to leave it there, and they left it there. So he's just pushing it off. That's funny. Chick matters into his own hands. I love it. I hope the police give him a big old ticket. Ooh, confrontation with the owner of the boat. Those guys are all
All right, family. So that's how it got started, right? That's how it got started. So from what you saw, Sister Kia and Baba, I mean, tell me what you saw in that clip, like how it got started. Because in my opinion, it looked like he wasn't being confrontational. It looks like he was trying to explain, like, hey, that's what it looked like to me. But what do you all, when you all saw that clip just now, how it got started, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. It seems like he was just doing his job, and it could have been worse. Okay, so to me, it seems like he was just doing his job. That's all.
Right. Well, definitely, you can definitely tell he was doing his job. They were illegally parked. He was doing what he was supposed to do. What amazes me about the clip is how everyone else at the dock knew what was going on. Right. And obviously they already had some animus towards these folks. Maybe these folks are already being arrogant or something was going on because they knew to go into the chant, move, trick, get out of the way.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how so many people knew what was going on already at that point. Makes me curious as to what happened leading up to that. You know what I'm saying? Because they were chanting, they knew to record, they were chanting. So evidently it was already a situation going on. Maybe there was a shouting match or something before that, but that wasn't the beginning of the altercation, because how would other people randomly know on the Riverwalk
to start recording
to start recording and that the brother was making them move?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, it happened. They're saying this is how it got started. But like you said, Bob, a good point. Something transpired before they started rolling in order for people to say, let me take my phone out and record this. And like you said, and they're chanting. And this was a boat full of Black people. So I'm sitting here wondering, I'm like, did those white folks, what did you think? So you thought you were just going to, again, the arrogance, right? That they operate with, right? That superiority complex. What did you think was going to happen when that boat docked? This is a boat full of Black folks. You all are banking this, and you already know it's a lot of animosity in Alabama between Black and white folks, right? So you got a whole bunch of Black folks on this boat. The brothers getting banked. And in my mind, I'm like, what did you all think that you all didn't think that went through? You couldn't have thought that went through. You know, if you thought, you know, you get what I'm saying, Baba. But
Right.
they, like I said, that arrogance that they have, and you know, you know, they feel like they're superior to us anyway, and that's what got their asses whooped on Saturday. That superiority complex and that arrogance,
Yeah,
right?
it didn't work out well.
It didn't work out.
It wasn't your traditional Alabama black-white confrontation.
Come on. It really wasn't. And
Right.
so I woke up it's Sunday morning, and a brother inboxed me the video, and I was like, what is going on? Usually, like when people send me little requests and videos, I'm like, don't send me nothing. But for some reason, I said, let me click on this video. And this is the video that I saw, family. Here we go. Oh, you all saw it too. So this was the spark.
They wrong for that now. That boy swimming his ass over there. Yeah, damn. That boy finna help that boy. Get up there, young boy. Get up there, young boy. Get up there, young boy. Shit, what's up? I was talking a minute ago. Yeah! Woo! 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 They sad. Look at them. They sad. Woo! Beat their ass. Woo! Oh my God. Woo! That what you get. That what you get. That what you get. Oh, tie her ass up. Ooh, she whooping her ass. She better put her in the water. In the water. In the water. Tie his ass up. Cause y'all were wrong. Do some. Boop, 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 woo! He ran, he jumped in the water. Yeah. Get in their ass. Oh, look at the Brawl. The Brawl jumping their ass. Cause y'all was wrong for jumping on that black man like that, baby. Okay, I thought we're
Hey, Baba, there go that white chair.
Oh my God.
He going to jail. They can get him a felony.
Oh my God.
They can give him a felony.
When he threw that hat up, Bob, I want to show that part because it didn't show it. He threw that hat in there. Look. That hat in there. Look. Baba, that's what he was like, you know, forget it, man. He threw it up.
That went up. Let's go.
Once he took that hat off and threw it in there, he was like, forget it. All gloves off. I got to defend myself at this point. You're putting your hands on me, you know, and so prayerfully, he didn't get charged with anything. That's what I'm hoping.
I mean, he was attacked.
Charged because he was attacked. That brother was only defending himself. But then, man, now they calling that young blood 16. They calling him. They said this is the real Aquaman. He jumped in the water.
Aquaman.
Yeah, we say, Baba.
Aquaman. From the South.
Aquaman.
That's Aquaman. Right.
Baba, he jumped in there. I was so proud. I felt like a proud mother just watching him swim across, took his shoes off, and he like, let's go. You know,
defend his coworker.
Yes, he did. Oh, I did not know they were co-workers.
Yeah, he worked there. The 16-year-old actually works at the dock as well. And so that was his coworker. He understood what was going on, and he went over there to defend his coworker who was being seriously attacked.
Yes.
This wasn't a one-on-one fight.
No.
He was being seriously attacked by a mob of white people. And who knows? I mean, he could have lost his life if nobody would have stepped in. You know, and so for this young brother to risk his life, number one, y'all, even if you can swim, if you jump into a natural body of water, you're still risking your life.
Come on,
so
Baba.
This young man risked his life, got across that water. And that's how we was talking about it last night. That is so symbolic of the spirit that we want in our youth. You know what I'm saying? Because all these obstacles out here, that's the water. He got across the water, lifted himself up. Didn't nobody help him get out the water.
No.
Pulled himself out the water and posted up to get to work. He didn't take time to wipe his eyes. None. He kicked that last shoe off and was like, let's get down to business. You know what I'm saying? And so that symbolism alone just makes me think of our youth and the spirit that's inside that we have to continue to cultivate and bring out and not dampen. You know what I'm saying?
I like to add to that the spirit of the youth. The spirit of someone mentioned the Maroons, and you said you went to a compound in Jamaica. So we're talking about the freedom fighters of Jamaica. We're talking about that spirit that young brother brought to the table. And what really encouraged me just now was seeing, because I had this conversation before we got on here, and my thing was, this is great symbolism for us, but are Black folks going to put up the funds if they get locked up? Are they going to put up the funds if they need a lawyer? Are they going to put up the funds for him to go to college? And someone in the comments said, we need to raise fund for that 16-year-old kid. So I hope that this symbolism will unite us in a way where we're giving back and supporting people in a monetary way as well. So
I got word last night
in August as well.
Yes. Yeah, I got word last night that he had to post for people to stop sending money to his Cash App. He couldn't take no more money. Yeah, so his Cash App has already been flooded, and so we definitely have to look out for that young man. And if he didn't show leadership qualities, there is no such thing as leadership quality. You know, and so that's definitely something that we have to look out for with Aquaman. He's a legend now.
Yes. Yeah, no, he is. And like you said, Bob, you know, I'm glad that you brought that up. You say he risked his life, because I remember when I was a little girl, my father used to tell me, he said, you could be the best swimmer in the world, but you jump in that water and a current grabs you, you're done. And he didn't, like you said, he didn't even think about it, Baba. He just jumped and he swam, and then he swam right there. We talking about in the Alabama River. Baba, you know, we got to give him some history, Baba.
Right.
It's the Alabama River, the same river, Baba. Come on, break that down, Baba.
Well, that very river walk where they are was one of the largest slave ports in the United States.
Baba.
Between 1808 and 1860, over 450,000 Africans were brought into Alabama right there. And they had a warehouse right there on that street. They used to keep Black bodies, live Black people in warehouses on that street. The auction block where they were fighting, our ancestors were literally walked in chains, drug in chains from ships down that very river walk to the auction block to be sold. So we've been at war on that river walk for hundreds of years. This is not a flash in the pan. It's a continuation. And there was a group of Africans, I forget the organization, they had just had an ancestor reverence ceremony the week prior there.
I heard, Baba.
Paying homage to the ancestors, and then a week later you get that spirit. Because y'all, Black people, we do walk around with kind of like I wish you would kind of thing, but we generally leave white people alone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We generally leave white people alone. You know what I'm saying? And so something got into Aquaman. Something got into those people, you know, on that doctor, where it was like, no, it's on today. It's on today, not today. You know, and you know, it is what it is. You know, regardless of how you feel about violence and that sort of thing. It is what it is, and you can't take away from the heroism of that young man. You can't take away from the fact that the dock worker was being brutally attacked, right? And you can't take away from the fact that black people said enough is enough.
Come on,
and y'all not just gonna get in your boat and drink Coors Light for the rest of the day. Y'all got to come talk to us. Y'all got to come see us about that.
That's right. That's right, Baba. That's right. That's right. And Sister Marcy Appendix said, and there was a Trump rally held there just the day before. So they was feeling themselves, Baba. They were already, the energy, they were already feeling themselves. It was a Trump rally there the day before. Like you said, we had the ancestor veneration ceremony there. You said the week before. And shout out to that sister. I saw the TikTok video the sister was talking about. They even showed some pictures of them dressed in all white.
Shout out to Gail at Night. Gail at Night was the sister that was sharing it about the ancestor reverend.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And so a lot of stuff was happening down there, Bobby, in this past week. And then we just on Saturday, we saw an explosion, and that's what we witnessed, an explosion. So they did say, Bob, and I'm going to play this clip. This is only a 45-second clip. They did say that there were some arrests made. And I'm with Sister Kia. Like, we got to make sure that we post and bail. Like, that was nice to cash app, that young hero, that young warrior, cash app him, make sure he's good. But we need to be making sure that any brothers and sisters who were locked up behind this incident, we got to make sure that they were good as well. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clip. Here we go.
Tonight, we're following breaking news near Montgomery's Riverfront Park. A fight beside the river has led to multiple arrests. Welcome to the news at 10. I'm Brady Talbert. A viewer sent us this video, which shows the fight just feet from the water. A witness claims it started because a pontoon boat was blocking the dock where a riverboat was trying to park. You can see more people jumping in as that fight played out. Well, soon after, Montgomery police arrived at the scene. They say a large group of people were involved in this brawl. Our crew saw people in handcuffs. MPD says several people have been detained and any charges are pending tonight. MPD told us about this attack just in the past hour. We're going to keep you updated on this developing story.
And you know what, panel? White folks, when it's always one against, when it's 20 of them and one of us, they're so tough. Even with these white supremacists, you know what I mean? Like, they'll go to a town where the black population, like stuff like that always happen in a town where the black population is like 8% and it's like 92% of them. And then they go and shoot it up, or they go. I remember, shout out to brother Phil Scott from the African Diasporan Channel. He used to say all the time, they're cowards. They're weak. And they show it. They prove them time and time again how weak they are. They never come to where we are and talk smack and do anything. They go, and if it's a brother and it's 20 of them, they ready to fight. You know what I mean? But if it's 20 of us, they wouldn't dare think about it. You know what I mean? They're cowards. Those white supremacists are cowards, and they always been. You know what I mean, Bob? And I'm sitting here thinking, you would have thought I was in the 1800s. I'm sitting here thinking about when they used to, form their little militias with their guns, and they would go and they would lynch black men, women, and children and go and destroy neighborhoods. They did it in mobs. You get what I'm saying, Baba? It wasn't never no lone soldier that did nothing. They had to be mobbed up. They had to be deep. They come in there, they banking you, they hanging you, they raping you. That's the type of stuff that they on. They've always been. White supremacists have always been cowards. If you look at the history from the time that we stepped foot on this shore, they've always been cowards. And today, that's what we're seeing in these videos. They were cowards, Baba.
There's a long history in Knowledge Born Unlock of the Test. There's a long history of cowardly war tactics being used by not just white people who are private citizens, but the United States as well. When you look at the Seminole Wars, Andrew Jackson wasn't able to take Florida from black people until he went in and started massacring women and children because the men had them on lock. And so to demoralize, to use any tactic. I mean, when we hear by any means necessary, we think about Malcolm, but by any means necessary, it could be U.S. Imperialism. It could be capitalism. It could, these approaches says might makes right. It says by whatever, if I can get away with it, then it's okay. And so, when you're not accustomed to having to stand up and fight mano a mano, you're not ready for that. You're not ready for that. When you're used to having a whole institution, like I noticed that on one clip, the police officers were coming in, then all of a sudden the white gentlemen started approaching again when those brothers built that wall. Right now, before the cops converged, white boys were standing back, but they saw the cops converge and they privilege kicked in and say, "All right, our police are here.
Come on, Baba.
Our police, so let us step up." But there was a couple of sisters, those police officers, and they were just kind of casually in there, sneak spraying a little pepper spray here and there. And so when the white boys stepped up, the brothers made that wild like, "Oh no, you finna get some more. We don't care that they here.
Right.
You better get a little more since y'all want to step up." And you saw they started running, and the sister, I love the sister was like, "Ta-da, ta-da," you know, and, you know. But when I saw that wall that those brothers formed, I said, "Man, we need to form that kind of wall around our youth. We need to form that kind of wall around our community, form that kind of wall around our women, around our families, have that same shoulder to shoulder mentality to attack anything that's attacking our community."
That's right. Shout out to Mama Marimba and Nee. Let the circle be unbroken. Come on now. Come on now. Let the circle
I would like
be
to
unbroken.
also add, while all of this is going on here in the States, there's a movement happening globally amongst Black folks. You know, we hear about what's going on in Niger or Niger, however we want to pronounce it, on the continent. We have what we have going here in the States, and we have people in Papua New Guinea uprising, and we have people of African descent uprising from the month of July going into August. So I think it's also in the stars and the moon, and it's about time that we all push back collectively. So this is a beautiful moment right now that we got going on.
Did anybody else order a shirt, or they got me? I ordered my shirt. I have 2 shirts on the way. Did anyone see? I got my shirt. I got my shirt.
I got my shirt with the making one, but I
Baba, look, I got my shirt. I got my shirt with the chair. And then there's another one with like a whole picture, you know, that all they did was take a picture and ironed it, you know, screen printed it or whatever.
It is 24 hours of the incident too, boss. Why people be hustling, boy? They be ready.
They got a whole song.
I know it. Whole song in music video.
It's a song. Quick, send it to me on IG. You had to send it to me on IG. I didn't hear that there was a song. I did. Oh no, there was a brother on. You talking about that brother on TikTok that rapped about it, or you talking about a real whole song?
I mean, it's a song. It's a song. He got a beat. He dropped it.
Okay, so we talking about the same thing.
Yeah. It's a song.
Oh, I didn't hear the hook. I didn't hear the hook. So we might be talking about 2 different ones.
We might be talking about the same thing or different thing, but we went into creativity mode. The black internet was on fire.
Fire.
The black internet was on fire, and I would love to see this energy just carry over and we transfer it into other areas.
Absolutely.
You know, and because there's so much. Whenever we get this groundswell of pride, I just want to grab it, put it in a bottle, and say everybody drink some every day.
Yes. And that was a conversation I was having with Baba Imhotep. Fatty you. Shout out again to PLM. I love those brothers. I always say PLM is my heart. But I was having a conversation with him yesterday, and I expressed those same sentiments. I said, Baba, this is great. But like you said, let's keep, my words were, let's keep the same energy. You know, Let's keep the same energy when it's time to educate our children, right? Making sure that our children are in, you know, African-centered schools. And I also know some people that they don't like that term African-centered. Well, a school that has a B1 agenda, a Black first agenda, or a race first agenda, or curriculum, right? However you want to define it, right? You know, so let's make sure we are creating and supporting, you know, our own educational institutions for our babies. And this is a great segue, Baba, into the next topic, right? Because we see what's going on with DeSantis, right? DeSantis is, you know, he's making a lot of comments. And this is the first one that I want to address. You know, before he said slavery didn't benefit, you know, it was a benefit to Black people. He said that no one questioned slavery. No one questioned the institution of slavery when it was happening. Sister Kia, we can't make this up. We can't make this up. Here we go, family.
With school boards and conservative groups pushing for book bans in record numbers, we can't overlook the role of state leaders who are shaping what children learn in school. Just this week, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis addressed his, quote, Stop Woke Act, which restricts race-based conversations in businesses and in school, and offered this up.
It was the American Revolution that caused people to question slavery. No one had questioned it before we decided as Americans that we are endowed by our creator with unalienable rights and that we are all created equal. Then that birth abolition. So you can't teach history that's being used to pursue an ideological agenda.
Back with me, Van.
Oh, let's stop. Baba.
Right.
Yeah, Baba.
Wow.
Baba, let me just play it one more time. I want our people to really hear it. I'm gonna put everybody on mute so no one can misunderstand or misconstrue. None of that. I'm gonna turn my mic off. Here we go.
And offered this up.
It was the American Revolution that caused people to question slavery. No one had questioned it before we decided as Americans that we are endowed by our creator with unalienable rights and that we are all created equal. Then that birthed abolition movements. So you can't teach history that's being used to pursue an ideological agenda.
Back with me, Van Jones, David Swerdlick, and
Baba.
Yeah.
He needs to sit in. I think he should sit. Let's send him an email. I think he should sit in your Black History course. I think maybe we should send him send him an email because I know you have a Black History course. Shout out to Baba Nwali Baruti. Well, he couldn't join his. He wouldn't join. He would. Baba went. He has a course called Our Story. Him and Mama Ya Baruti. They have a class called Our Story. A lot of African-centered institutions have, a Black history, or African history curriculum. When I heard him say that, I said, he is ignorant of history, very ignorant. He said it wasn't until the American Revolution when people questioned the institution of slavery, people were questioning the institution of slavery when it started on the continent, when they were over there capturing Africans. I have the writings of the Portuguese. I have a book back behind me called The Portuguese in West Africa from 1414 to 1619 or 1444 to 1619 by Malin Nuit, who translated the writings of the Portuguese men. Even in their diaries, they were questioning the institution of slavery. One of them, and I'm sitting here recalling them, one of them said, oh my goodness, because these were, they were Catholics, they were Christians. And so he was saying, well, if all men are sons and daughters, of Adam and Eve, what are we doing over here to these people? So the Portuguese, who started the transatlantic slave trade, who were the progenitors of the transatlantic slave trade. I mean, technically, we could say that the Arabs started it with the trans-Saharan slave trade, but I'm talking about when the European people got involved. It was sparked by the Portuguese. They were even questioning it in their writings. They were like, I don't know. So they were showing signs that some of them were guilty. I mean, they still participated, but in their diaries, they were like, I don't know if. And then they tried to deal with, they were suffering from cognitive dissonance. And they were like, well, at least we're bringing religion to, we're bringing the word, we're bringing religion, we're bringing God to these savages and these uncivilized people. But in that process, so they were trying to rationalize it. And you can kind of read their writings, Bob, but they were confused about the institution of slavery. I don't know. What are we doing here? So they and also us always question the institution of slavery. We question it on the continent. We question it during the Middle Passage on those boats when our feet hit the pavement or hit the shores in the Caribbean and in South America and in North America. We always question it. Look at the maroon communities. A lot of those maroon communities were established in the 15 and 1600s. So if people weren't questioning slavery, then you wouldn't have maroon communities, which were communities that were formed by people who ran away from slavery, right? And not only did they run away, they went back to the plantations, and sometimes they burned. Come on now, and they killed people. They did all sorts of stuff. But if no one questioned it, you wouldn't even have a historical timeline with the maroon communities. You wouldn't have the Underground Railroad. You wouldn't have you wouldn't have none of that stuff, Bob, if no one questioned it. He said 1777 is when people started. But even before then, in the 1600s, people always questioned slavery. Bob, what were your thoughts?
Well, it was a ridiculous statement. It was a ridiculous statement to say no one even questioned it. Like it's thanks to the Declaration of Independence, people started even questioning slavery. That's a bald-faced lie. And he knew he was lying when he said it, or he just might be that stupid, right? And I'm leaning towards the second answer, right? That he was being honestly dumb when he said that. But he is right in the sense they did question slavery in 1776, and the answer they came up with was that it was okay.
Come on.
Because the man who wrote all men are created equal, Thomas Jefferson, owned over 700 Africans in his lifetime.
Teach.
So he had answered that question, because as he was writing all men were created equal, he was also writing and supporting the scholarship that said Africans were less than human, therefore not included when you say all men are created equal. Read Thomas Jefferson's note on the state of Virginia, and then you'll get all the details you need to know about how they felt about African people, the humanity of African people. So DeSantis he's basically showing you that they're writing the history books and deepening the lies that are already there. You know, because a lot of people saying they're taking our story out. Number one, your story was never in.
Come on, say it, Baba. Say it, Baba.
They're not taking our history out of the schools in Florida. Your true story was never in. And as bad as Florida is, consider this. Florida is only one of only 12 states in America where it's even required to teach Black history. That's the only reason why they're having an argument, because it's on the legislative floor. It ain't on the legislative floor in your state.
Especially in South Carolina.
We South Carolina that had Black. It ain't on the legislative floor in South Carolina.
No.
They don't have to teach any Black history. And there are several places here in South Carolina where they don't teach any Black history, hardly whatsoever, outside of the 30 days in Black history. As a matter of fact, I had one high school student here at a 96% Black school tell me, it's like, we was watching the new Black lady become a Supreme Court justice, and my history teacher, who happens to be Black, said, "Ooh, I wish I could teach y'all our history, but I can't." In 2022.
Yes. And same thing happened to me. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. And so, you know, they don't teach Black history, and they certainly ain't going to teach about the Gullah Geechee culture. And I just remember one teacher we had who happened to be white, who spoke Gullah better than most people I knew. He would teach a little bit, but it wasn't in the book. It wasn't about, you know, we didn't get in-depth history even about the Gullah Geechee culture right there in the corridor of North Carolina to Florida. So you're right.
Right. And you got to ask yourself, would you rather have a racist conversation or no conversation at all? I'd rather engage with the racist conversation, because at least we're having a conversation.
Same here.
At
Brother
least
Knowledge,
we're having a conversation.
Brother Knowledge Born, what were your thoughts about him saying, DeSantis saying that no one questioned slavery until the American Revolution?
Can y'all hear me okay? I done switched 3 or 4 devices and everything. Okay. I think when we watch these programs, I think we've been astutely trained to pick up the level of actorship and the level of disconnected things that they're, you know, that they try. You know, all of this stuff is theater. They got all of these shows going on. Everything is TV. Everybody's looking for viral moments. And, you know, with the present situation, as far as the electoral situation, they have to have some kind of thing to push out there. And this has been an agenda with Florida and with him in particular for, you know, a few years now. So this is not a new statement. You know, with the situation with no Trump and, you know, things like that, there has to be somebody else in the wings who's pushing that, you know, entertainment, because this is entertainment for them. This isn't anything of worth and value. We mine out the worth and value. We find the useful end. This is, you know, for your entertainment. So they figured out that model, and they've been using that model. So incendiary remarks, you know, we could go back to Trent Lott. We could go back to many of those people that have been in political positions that have made these, you know, sorts of statements. And, you know, we have to become more politically astute and raise our level of political consciousness in regards to, you know, our approach and how we're going to respond to them versus, you know, what they have to say about that. One thing I wanted to add very quickly, the total war concept because Baba was talking about by any means necessary. General Tecumseh Sherman introduced the total war concept. So that total war concept was something that they learned at the behest of being slaughtered every place that they went. So when Queen Key was talking about the Gullah Geechee, they're not going to talk about the losses that they take. You understand? So any instance where there was a loss ensued in large numbers, they're not going to talk about that, you know, the amount of casualties they sustained. So they're not going to be responsible for giving you the tools to free you. So just, you know, thinking about that and putting that in context. And the last thing I just wanted to say was Emmett Till was killed in this month, you know, on the 28th. If we remember, his body was discovered. So there are so many things that are there that are packed into these statements, and they know the pain points. You know, Dr. Mott, we were discussing the situation in Oklahoma, you know, and with that thing coming on, and then the background with the Henrietta Lacks family. So all of this stuff is about legacy and, you know, distorting and revising history. And the people with the spheres of influence have the power to dictate that. So this is why everything that everyone on this panel is doing is very necessary. You know, revitalizing the Afrocentric travel and working in the STEAM to revitalize a space so we're not just dealing from a space of emotionalism. We have a sense of responsibility and onus and a connection to building our better future. So I'm here with the greatest African minds that could possibly be here, you know, in a space of reaching critical mass in regards to what's truly necessary for, you know, for our people to go. So I just wanted to add that real quick.
No, that was powerful. That was powerful. Ashe. Family, take a moment out to thumb up this video. We got 95,000 people in the building. Make sure that you thumb up the video. Also, family, share. Sharing is caring. And we want to each one teach one, and we can do that easily in the 21st century, right? By just simply hitting the share button and posting on our social media. So if you're on Facebook, post a link. If you're on Twitter, tweet the link. If you're on TikTok, get it out there. And also all of us, a lot of people have family group chats. We got family group messages, right? We got friend group chats and all of that. So just copy the link, throw it in the chat, have some folks join us. When I drop the bomb, you already know we over 100,000 strong. So anyway, family, I want to continue. I have some more clips. Here it is right here. Now, shout out to this brother. I do like him. I don't like that he aligned himself with those young Turks. I don't like that. But I do like this brother. I forgot his name. Indisputable. Yeah. Rashard Richey. So Indisputable with Rashard Richey. So I do like this brother, and I do listen to a lot of his content. And so anyway, he did release a video, and shout out to Dr. Craig Samuels, who's in the building. When I was in Jamaica, Baba, he was sending me these videos. He was like, look at this, you know, and look at this. And I was like, Doc, I said, I'm on vacation. I'm gonna look at it, but you know, I'm away, Doc. You know what I mean? Don't get me riled up. But then, you know what I did anyway? Click the link. Why did I click?
Yes, you did.
Baba?
You sneak watched it.
I sneak watched it, Baba, and I was perturbed. I'm gonna play a quick clip of it. It's like 11 minutes, but I'm not gonna play the full 11 minutes. I'll drop the link in the chat for folks who want to watch the full video. But check this out, family. Here we go.
Done it. They are now mandating that schools teach slavery as beneficial. Let's go to the first video.
Do not, for the love of God, tell kids that slavery was beneficial, because I can guarantee you it most certainly was not. Thank you.
Education and civil rights advocates are slamming new Black history teaching standards in Florida. Under the new rules, middle school teachers must now include lessons, quote, how slaves developed skills, which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit.
It's inaccurate, it's ahistorical. Critics are calling this a big step backwards and saying it's a disservice to Florida students because they're not going to learn the full truth and the full accurate truth of American history.
This is insanity on top of insanity. Parents, advocates of all different backgrounds proclaimed this is wrong. Do not do it. None of them listen. Why? Because they are under the direction of a madman named Governor Ron DeSantis. And they themselves are feckless leaders in positions of authority. Here it is.
And I am very concerned by these standards, especially some of the notion that, enslaved people benefited from being enslaved is an accurate and a scary standard for us to establish in our educational curriculum.
The proposed changes specifically for elementary and middle school students leave out the last 150 years of Black history. Where Black history is taught provides a simplified and sterilized version of history.
The new standards suggest that violence by Black residents in defense of their lives and homes as they were surrounded by armed mobs and flames, and as they were forced to flee their homes or be shot or burned, are to be included as a seemingly equal part of the standard. This is egregious if you understand what happened to the Black residents in Ocoee in 1920.
First of all, I want to say any kind of standards that indicate that slavery benefited Black people is such an insult. My husband is Black, my daughter is Black, and the thought that slavery benefited them, how could that be taught? The fact that the pushback to Reconstruction benefited them, the fact that Jim Crow benefited them. How can we teach that to students? How can someone look at a child with a straight face and say that slavery benefited Black people?
All right, members, we have the motion on the table to approve the two rules. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Show the amendment approved. Members, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then we'll be back.
This
quick commercial break.
You're not ready.
This is adverse to the sentiment of the majority of Americans. They do not agree with this. The majority of white America does not agree with this curriculum adoption. Obviously, Black Americans do not agree. But let's count the hypocrisy in all of this. As I said from day one, this is the plan of Governor DeSantis to eliminate diversity, to eliminate inclusion. He is literally making conversations at the kitchen table of racist law. This is what racist people say inside of their homes. I don't know what Black people are upset about. I mean, there's a lot of benefits they receive from slavery. Here's another hypocrisy. They're not teaching how slavery or the criminal murderous enterprise known as slavery, they're not teaching how it benefited white slave masters, nor their descendants. They're only teaching it in the context of how it benefited Black people, enslaved Africans who are ripped from their homelands, denied their opportunity of individualism, made to benefit one entity alone, wealthy white men. Let's go to it. Middle school students in Florida will soon be taught that slavery gave Black people a, and I quote, personal benefit because they developed skills. After the Florida Board of Education approved new standards for African American history on Wednesday, high school students will be taught an equally distorted message that a deadly white mob attack against Black residents of Ocoee, Florida in 1920 included acts of violence perpetrated against and by African Americans. Dozens of Black residents were killed in the massacre, which was perpetrated to stop them from voting. According to members of the board, that distorted portrayal of the racist massacre is factually accurate. Marilyn Marger, a member of the board appointed by none other than Governor Ron DeSantis, said at the board's meeting in Orlando on Wednesday that everything is there in the new history standards and the darkest parts of our history are addressed. The Tallahassee Democrat reported a majority of the speakers who provided public testimony on the planned curriculum are opposed to it, warning that crucial context is omitted, atrocities are glossed over. And in some cases, students were taught to actually blame the victim, being Black people. I am very concerned by these standards, especially some of the notion that enslaved people benefited from being enslaved. Can I say this? What the hell is Biden saying about it? Hell, we have a vice president that is a person of color. Is there a massive massive messaging campaign against this type of insanity in our nation. No, it is not. Democrats are very good at making you feel like, well, we feel with you and this is outrageous. There's more. When I see the standards, I am very concerned, says State Representative Thompson. Very concerned. If I were still a professor, I would do what I did very infrequently. I'd have to give this a grade I for incomplete. It recognizes that we have made an effort, we've taken a step. However, this history needs to be comprehensive, it needs to be authentic, and it needs additional work. When you look at the history currently, it suggests that the Ocoee massacre was sparked by violence from African Americans. That's blaming the victim, the Democrat warned. The Florida governor signed the Stop Woke Act last year to just do that, restricting how issues of race are taught in public schools and workplaces, and keeping with the administration's crusade against wokeness. Education Commissioner Manny Diaz defended the new standards against criticism, saying, quote, "This is an in-depth deep dive into African American history, which is clearly American history, as Governor DeSantis has said, and what Florida has done to expand it." Paul Burns, the Florida Department of Education's Chancellor of K-12 public education, also insisted the new standards provide an exhaustive representation of African American history. Our standards are factual, objective standards that really teach the good, the bad, and the ugly. He was quoted as saying Wednesday by the Florida Phoenix, he denied the new standards portray slavery as beneficial. Although education officials say teachers are meant to expand upon the new curriculum in the classroom, critics say teachers are unlikely to do that for fear of being singled out, possibly punished for being too woke. The Florida Education Association, the state's largest teachers union, called the new standards, quote, a big step backward for our state that has required teaching African American history since 1994. In a statement after Wednesday's vote, Derek Johnson, president and CEO of the NAACP, also condemned the new curriculum, saying in a statement, our children deserve nothing less than truth, justice, and the equity our ancestors shed blood, sweat, and tears for. Today's action by the Florida state government are an attempt to bring our country back to a 19th century America where Black life was not valued, nor our rights protected. It is imperative that we understand that the horrors of slavery and Jim Crow were a violation of human rights and represent the darkest period in American history. We refuse to go back, the head of the NAACP said. Next time somebody says, what did they mean by Make America Great Again? Please understand they are providing the answer, front and center, right now. Just Sister Thoughts.
Yeah, it's historical erasure. And if that weren't bad enough,
All right, panel. Let me get this out. All right, panel. So what are your thoughts about slavery being beneficial to Black people? Again, Bob, and I just want to spark it off. I'll pass the mic. I said they need to sit in your history class. I wish they would have watched. Shout out to Brother Sinetta, who invited me on his platform. In 2016, I did a presentation on the African origins of mathematics and its applications. And I talked about, look, Knowledge Board, that video has over 100,000 views, where I talked about our ancestors being the pioneers of science, technology, engineering, art, agriculture, and mathematics, where I showed how these great structures that you find throughout Africa, right, were great engineering projects, right? And I went into the science and the mathematical skills that was necessary for them to produce pyramids and temples and to align them with the celestial beings or celestial phenomenon, right? So you come to us and tell us we got skills because of the Ma'afa. We were already cultivating rice, right? You go to Ghana, everything is jollof. We were already cultivating rice and doing those things. That's why they came over and got us, Baba, and they couldn't do it themselves. We were already cultivating those things before slavery. So we brought the skills. That's why shout out to Dr. Stephanie Jones Rogers. She wrote a book called They Were Her Property. And in that book, when slavery, when we were emancipated legally, white folks started panicking because they didn't have any skills. So they were like, oh my goodness, who's going to cultivate this sugar? Who's going to cultivate the cotton? Who's going to cultivate these things? They didn't have the skills. They started panicking. We brought with us those skills. Slavery underdeveloped Black people. It underdeveloped Africa. Y'all need that. Read that book, How Slavery Underdeveloped Africa, by what's his name? Dr. Rodney.
Walter Rodney, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Walter Rodney.
How Europe Underdeveloped. You better read that book. So it actually underdeveloped us. It didn't benefit us at all. It actually set us back. You got Black folks running around here with an identity crisis. I ain't African. I ain't come from there. Huh? Self-hate going on. Impoverished community. What are you talking about? It benefited us. It set us back. Anyway, Bob, I go ahead. I pass the mic.
The statement is based on the false premise that we come from savages. So the statement is based on the false premise that there was some sort of civilizing slavery was some sort of civilizing apparatus that benefited a savage people. We lost technology as a result of slavery. We lost languages. We lost spiritual systems. We even lost how to take care of our hair as a result of slavery. So slavery represented a massive loss of technology, a massive absence of skill. It didn't require a lot of the skills that we had were not required in order to do the menial work, the work that our ancestors were forced to do here. To teach it any other way is deliberate. I mean, it's disingenuous, but it's deliberate at the same time. It's still going on today. How many shows you see where, you got to send them unruly Black boys to the boot camp. You got to put them in prison camp. You got to scare them straight. Prison might be good for him. We're still preaching the benefits of slavery in what we do today and shaping policy that way. And so what I'm seeing is an attempt to have the historical policy mirror the current criminal justice policy. There are bigger politics at play, when you spin a narrative. And I mentioned earlier that Florida is one of only 12 states where it's mandated to teach Black history. It's been that way since 1994. But state sanctioning is not freedom. It's state control. So the flip side of it, if you don't control the state, you don't control anything that the state controls. And so the state is stepping in and controlling. They're saying we're going to teach a narrative that we control that benefits us. And there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. Right. And so that's what you're witnessing there. We need to make sure that we're teaching our story in our community to our children, ourselves, spinning the narrative that we want to spin. Ourselves. That's why the Uhuru Academy is necessary. That's why New Akibalan STEM Learning Center, which is in Broward County, Florida, is necessary. That's why conscious ingenuity is necessary. You know what I'm saying? All these institutes are necessary, and we have to do our work, and the community needs to stand with us as we do our work, because if you don't tell your story, somebody else will, and they gonna tell their version of your story and then tell it in a way that benefits them. And that's what we're witnessing. You can yell at the liar all you want to. They're not gonna stop lying. The only way to beat a lie is with the truth. And we can't be, we run around here scared of the truth, but getting mad at the lie. I'm talking about us as Black people. We don't want to talk about Nat Turner. We don't want to talk about, we're scared of our own story. But then when they lie on it, we get mad. The only way to beat their lies is with our truth. Now I'll park my car right there.
All right. You say I land my plane, I park my car. Sister Kia, what are your thoughts? And family, I'm getting ready to drop that the link to that Sinetta's interview that I had with him in the chat if you want to check it out. But Sister Kia, what are your thoughts? What were you thinking?
I'm always gonna come from a global approach, because I don't want to be limited to the great things that we've done on this line, on this this here land. But I believe that we should know who we are globally and what we contribute to the entire world, which would also give you more of a oomph to find out what you've done here on this land and how you have influenced the whole world with all the movements that we made through and beyond slavery. I think this is also the opportunity for us to also look at the mental harm that slavery did. I mean, if they're saying that it was something that helped us and we benefited from it, and we certainly haven't. And the biggest thing is the psychology of the Black man and the Black woman, and how that did harm us, and how now this is our opportunity to work towards healing and looking outside ourselves to create tools that will help us through this, so that we can get to the history, so that we can get to the truth and do what you all are already doing with the youth, so that they don't have to repeat the same cycle that we're repeating. So this is all a collective, as you said, Brother Knowledge, shout out to you. It's a collective effort. We're an army. So there's tentacles on that army, and there's supportive systems, and everybody is not going to be in infantry. Everybody not going to be in HR.
That's right.
Everybody not going to be, you know what I'm saying, in logistics. And so this is an example of how we turn that story around in real time. So I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
No, absolutely. That was powerful, Sister Kia. Powerful, powerful. Brother Knowledge Born, what were your thoughts when you know, slavery benefited Black folks? It benefited us.
I mean, I love the statement. Okay, I love the statement. It's very audacious and multi-pronged. This is why understanding our psychology is so important, and I love the way that y'all approached it. Now, look at the heartstring space. They're targeting our youth, but we know by the time the age of middle school, with the school to prison pipeline, they're already career criminals by the time they're at the age of middle school. So look at the space where they're showing this example, and look at the mouthpieces that they're using. Look at the mouthpieces. This is why Baba Me exists. This is why you exist. These white things, okay, slavery clearly benefited that white thing that was up there talking, because she wouldn't have no husband or no child. You understand what I'm saying? So slavery did benefit them. And when they're speaking about themselves. You understand? It benefited them from an economic space, from a psycho-spiritual space, from an upstanding space of authority and rulership. So when we look at levels of accountability and responsibility, who is responsible for going to go get them things from the caves that they were at and help them circumnavigate the globe to come back with a vengeance for us? We can't leave that off of the table either when we start looking at it from a global perspective. Who is responsible for that? You see what I'm saying? Who is responsible for teaching them how to master us, and where the Willie Lynch letter really came from? You understand what I'm saying? Whose mind was that seeded in regards to how to, you know, put us against one another? It had to be somebody from within, not somebody from without. So there's a level of accountability and responsibility that comes there. So this was a beneficial statement that they said, that slavery taught us some skills. It did teach us how to hate each other, how to kill each other, how to rob each other, how to degrade each other, not to protect our women and children. Those are the skills that we picked up from slavery. You see what I'm saying? We no longer look at ourselves of wealth, of worth, or wealth of value. So you could give us the pyramid science. You could tell us how the pyramids was built in 2016, Dr. Maya, in plain English, right?
Come on.
And then they could go against you. The same black people could go against you in the space of mistrust. But if one of them pale faces would have came on there and said that, they'd be like, "Oh yes, that's deep. Oh, that's profound." You understand what I'm saying? Like, Baba, is that a real school? Are you gonna get a real accreditation? Oh, are you allowed to give out real diplomas? You understand what I'm saying? Regardless of the countless people. Oh, sister, you taking people on tours? It must be some kind of scam. Yes, these are the skills that we learned from slavery. These are the skills. These are the psycho-spiritual battles that we have to fight through and work through. Why she got that? Dr. Mike came out with that mail check. What? I don't know about that. You understand what I'm saying? Like all of these things that we want, that we scream that we want, and then they're available in front of our faces. These are the skills and the takeaways that we learn. We learn how to be very good enemies to one another. We learn how to be very divisive despite our ancestral past. Even on this land, we were more unified in occupation than we ever been at this present time. So when they make statements, we have to take it, in context and how they're approaching it, because everything with them is militaristic. You see what I'm saying?
Come on.
They don't have no other kind of means available, to it. So, just like, I had my time in the military, everybody goes through this kind of training, and then you get your individual job, but your job is front line. So every time you see them, they're going to operate from that space of front line. So, to agree and echo Baba's sentiments and the sentiments of the panel, we have to be front line. We have to make our future a priority. We have to advocate and fight and train and rally around in the same way we would around the lie, around the truth.
Ashe. Baba, I know you got a 2:30 meeting. You got to cut out. Baba, I just wanted you to plug Uhuru Academy. Family, you already know, if you look at any of Dr. Ma'at's videos, you click, you go into the description. I have right there. I said the #1 educational institution for Black children. The link is right there under all of my videos. This video included. All of my videos have Baba Amin's link in it. Get your children in it. And I'm not just asking you to do it. My son Jalen is a student of Uhuru Academy. So I'm not pushing you to do something that I haven't done myself. Baba, you have the floor to tell the people about the Uhuru Online Academy. Let them know how they can contact you, Baba, and let them know what your institution is, and etc.
I definitely appreciate you, Dr. Mayan. I appreciate your work. I appreciate our partnership and everything that we're accomplishing right now. Sister, you are a true warrior, and you aqua woman. You know what I'm saying? Because you swimming and fighting and doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, family, go over to uhuruacademy.com right now. It's that time of year. We're enrolling right now for the fall semester, 2023-2024 school year. We have an online K through 12 private school / homeschool partner. We have both full-time and part-time schedules available. It's an interactive, powerful, intimate learning experience for children, all the Black children all over the world. I'm very excited to say that we just enrolled our first 3 families in Accra, Ghana. And so peace to our families in Accra. But Uhuru Academy, we've been around since 2010, started brick and mortar, went virtual in 2015 because we saw where education was headed, and we wanted to provide African-centered education to communities that didn't have access to brick and mortar schools. So there's no excuse, y'all. We have it. We have it online. We're enrolling right now. We also have our Operation Reconnect adult education program. Anybody 16 and up that stopped out of the school system, we will graduate you. But not only will we graduate you with a high school diploma, we'll graduate you with a plan for success. Matter of fact, without that plan, you can't get the diploma. All right. Also, we've expanded our services, and we're now doing professional development for teachers in the private school setting, public school setting, community-based programs. Over the years, we've helped several schools get off the ground, including the UASC International Learning Center here in Columbia, South Carolina. We've consulted with New Akibalon in Broward County, Liberated Farms in Detroit. We're working with Conscious Ingenuity. Y'all just watch out what Baltimore is about to do, right? And so we believe in empowering communities to deliver African-centered education solutions to Black children. Go to uhuruacademy.com. Enroll today. Don't wait.
Come on, y'all. The link is in the chat. And so we gotta, Baba, a lot of times our brothers and sisters, we complain about the problem and we don't support the solutions. And so, when I was listening to Baba talk, he named about several programs, several people. Connect, y'all. Connect with these people. Connect with these institutions. Get involved. Support, support. send your child. So don't come to me, man, the school system, look at what they teach my child. And I'm gonna say, well, did you get them in the Hoover Academy? Did you enroll your child? So if you're not supporting these solutions, then miss me with complaining about the problem. I mean, that's where I'm at, Bob. I don't want to hear the complaints. I want to know, are you supporting the solutions? And if you're not supporting the solutions, you have no right to complain about the problem.
That's right.
Right. So anyway, Baba, thank you so much for joining. Baba, we're going to go for probably another 20 or 30. So if you can finish, if you want to finish and you want to jump in, Baba, please do. Okay.
All right. Peace to all, man. Peace and love.
Peace. I want to play this other clip real quick. I had two of them lined up. That DeSantis, I'm telling you, another little clip lined up. So he says right here, he titled this, DeSantis cronies approve grotesque history curriculum. And you know what we need to do, Queen and King? These people that are approving, see, we don't look at folks, we need more political education. And see, that's one thing that the Panthers had back in the day. To know, you understand, they were giving our people political education. So we need to find out, well, who's voting for this stuff, right? Who are the representatives that are approving this stuff and voting for this stuff, and vote their tails out, right? And not support them when the state elections come about. Speak with your vote. Speak by pulling your children out of the school system, right? Or speak by getting on the PTA boards and taking it over. Again, we got to be a part of the solution and not complain so much about the problem. But here we go. Let's listen to what he has to say. His cronies. Who are his cronies?
Florida, remember? They just passed a mandate mandating what? Slavery be taught in one context, that it benefited Black people. I thought, since this was done by way of a public vote by government officials, that you should know who these government officials are. Let's put them up full mass. State Board of Education members, the chair is Ben Gibson, who happens to be an attorney at law. Ben Gibson believes that slavery should be taught to middle schoolers in particular as a great benefit to Black people in America. Ben has been active in this organization since 2017. He was appointed twice by the current governor and confirmed by the Florida Senate. Also, Vice Chair Ryan Petty was appointed by Governor DeSantis, to the board in January 2020. Per Gibson's bio on the Department of Education site, it says, growing up, the son of two licensed mental health counselors, Ben is passionate about ensuring that the mental health needs of Florida students are a top priority. He believes that every student should have the same opportunity to learn, and parents should have meaningful educational choices and input regarding their child's education, regardless of where they live in Florida or their family's economic situation. He is a strong advocate for empowering parents to make the best educational choices for their children.
Do you know you could be paying 50% more on your water than you have to be if you notice your lawns?
Now, I do find it ironic that Black parents and white parents, frankly, and all parents who oppose the new mandate, why is it that their opposition of this new curriculum mandate, why is it that their proclamations are not heard? Why do they not get choice here? Why are they not able to eliminate the curriculum like two white parents were able to do as it relates to African American studies? There's more. Per Petty's bio on the Department of Education site, Ryan lost his daughter Elena in a tragic school shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on Valentine's Day 2018. Elena was one of 17 students and teachers killed. Since the tragedy that took their daughter, Ryan and his wife Kelly have been actively involved in the public policy arena as advocates for improving school safety through early identification and intervention of potential threats. Let's put up the rest of the cast of characters. You're looking at 5 Karens who were appointed to the Florida Board of Education. You have left to right Monesia T. Brown, the Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations for Walmart Incorporated. That's a regular job. Esther Bird is a legal assistant, okay? And Dr. Grazi Pazzo Christie is a radiologist. Bottom left to right, you have Kelly Garcia, who is a school teacher, and Marilyn Magar, former GOP member and Speaker pro tem of the Florida House of Representatives. Magar's stance on education was supporting more accountability and choice in the Florida education system. All board members are, in fact, parents. Esther Bird stirred controversy when she tweeted about the January 6th riot, the terrorist attack at the U.S. Capitol a year before her appointment. The tweet read, "In the coming civil wars." Did you hear me? In the coming civil wars, we the people versus the radical left, and we the people cleaning up the Republican Party. Team rosters are being filled. Every selected official in DC will pick one. There are only 2 teams, with us or against us. This individual is appointed to the Florida Board of Education, has openly called for civil war, has openly called for war against this very country. There's more. Meanwhile, the only teacher on the board, all right, let's put it up. Kelly Garcia was appointed to the State Board of Education by Governor DeSantis in March of 2023 after serving on the Board of Trustees of the Florida Virtual School. She is, in fact, a Florida certified teacher from Tampa with a decade of experience teaching in charter public and private schools. She has worked in education policy with Michelle Rhee's organization, Students First, where she collaborated with the Urban League and Foundation for Florida's Future. It is a damn shame, madam. You have given all of those organizations a bad name, and those that already had a bad name, you just gave them a worse one. Who's in charge of this? Put him up. Just Satan himself. The new history standards approved Wednesday were, as NBC South Florida reported, the updates to the African American history curriculum required by the controversial 2022 law DeSantis dubbed the Stop Wrongs to Our Kids and Employees Act. It's called the Stop Woke Act, in short. As I have said before, these individuals are not playing checkers, they're playing chess. Democrats are still responding by and large as if this is one move and you make a counter move. They make another move and you make a counter move. This is not the game they are playing. Democrats need to wake up. They're playing a game of chess. The strategy involved, you have to remember, they started on these laws in 2020, 2021. These laws are stacking on top of each other, allowing for the next law to be given. But without the previous law, the new law would not be possible. Let me explain. Without the 2022 Stop Woke Act, you do not have the legal framework to implement such a ridiculous mandate inside of public education. But with the Stop Woke Act of 2022, you provide the perfect framework in order to present such an adverse educational policy.
So I mean, I don't even know what to say after what he just said. He was right. They're playing chess. We want to sit around and play checkers. They're playing chess. They're setting it up. Well, I'm going to pass this piece of legislation. And then from this, I'm going to pass this. I'm going to pass this. And I'm going to pass this. I'm going to overturn Roe versus Wade. And I'm going to overturn. What was the one they just overturned? It was another one. affirmative action, that I'm going to start overturning these things, right? And like he said, building, a legal framework, to do the things that they're doing. And so shout out to Brother Chris. He said we need to reread Dr. Jacob Carruthers' book, Intellectual Warfare. That's what's happening right here. Intellectual warfare. And we got to make sure, again, that we're supporting people like Baba Amin of the Uhuru Academy, people like Baba Imhotep Fadi Yuduf of his Kamoyo Shule Academy, people like Baba Baruti and Mama Ya Baruti, Akabin House, people like Q Butter, Zayax Institute, Brother Marcus Klein, in Chicago. We got to be supporting Black owned and operated educational institutions, period. Those parents in Florida, those Black parents should be pulling their children out of that school system in droves. Let them have that. And before long, let me say this, before long, you always say, this is a stretch. No, once they get away with it in Florida, you start seeing it in New York, you see it in California, you start seeing it all over the U.S. Pull your children out. Pull your children out. Anyway, that's what I had to say. Brother Knowledge Bro and Sister Kid, what are your thoughts on the clip that you watched? Hello. What are y'all unmute?
I was waiting. I was going to yield to the queen.
No, she said go ahead. She was pointing to you. She was like, no, you.
Oh. Okay. What I was speaking about earlier, y'all got a chance to see the proof again. The psychological warfare is real.
Mm-hmm.
So there have these. Can y'all hear me? Am I good?
Loud and clear, brother. Keep building. We hear you.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. The psychological warfare is real. They'll show these white tears as if they're dead set against this. This is horrible to be teaching the children. This is wrong, blah, blah, blah. And look who's on the other end of the damn thing. You understand what I'm saying, Dr. Mott? You did a magnificent job with the book club talking about, the white female slave owner and her role as the slave owner. They started the stuff with the feminism. They started the thing with the Women's Suffrage Act and all of these other tactics that were there. These are artful tactics. This damsel in distress. The princess and the knight in shining armor. All of these things with the crocodile tears and all of this foolishness. And we know that white tears were responsible for the death of Emmett Till.
Come on.
For the Tulsa race riots, Rosewood, and so many other places, the atrocities that happened at the behest or the thought. They started to talk about the Ku Klux Klan got formed because of fear of Black men supposedly wanting to touch them pale dogs. You understand what I'm saying? All of these things right here. So again, in that space, we don't become qualified enough to speak to the social ills and the maladies. We have to have some kind of white participation or some kind of buy-in in regards to them seeing our plight. So I just think it was a foolhardy but very intelligible psychological space to put that right in our faces again. So I just think that there was artful.
No, absolutely, Sister Kia, you have the floor.
Yes, I don't have much to say. I agree with him wholeheartedly in terms of the psychology. That's the art, the warfare right now as we see it. And so I believe us having these conversations and putting it out in the forefront and encouraging each other to pay attention, because they'll distract us. While we loved what our sisters and brothers did in Alabama, they will distract us with situations where we're not paying attention to legislation. And then I want to also add that while it is important to vote, it is also important to align ourselves with lobbyists, Black lobbyist organization, and put our money where our mouth is. So that's my piece, and I gotta go, sister.
No, go ahead. Plug yourself. Sister Kia. Tell people what you do and how they can find you.
Yes, my name is Kia Waukesha Simmons. I'm the CEO and founder of Traverse Culture. We're a travel concierge company that specializes in humanitarian relocation services and business development and investment opportunities in East Africa, more specifically in Kenya. And now we're in Central America working alongside both governments to garner people of African descent and marginalized cultures opportunities to create allies through commerce and trade, and even have the possibility of relocating. My website is currently down.
I was just looking for it. Like I literally just pulled it up and it was like website is under maintenance, right?
It's under maintenance because we're doing some really good updates for our call to action, which will be in Kenya, December the 28th, 2023 to January the 8th, where we're going to be focused on relationship building with our counterparts on the continent, and again give you those options to look at investment opportunities to just expand your reach globally. But it is currently down. Our website will be up in the next 48 hours. If you have any questions for us, please email us at info@tverse.com. That's info@tverse.com, and also follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram and Facebook. It's always a pleasure, Dr. Mayat. You're amazing.
It's always, I'm your reflection because you are an amazing, powerful sister. I love that you always say, I'm coming from a global perspective. You make that clear. Look, my perspective is global because you travel to so many countries. And not only did you travel to other countries, you also take people with you. Not only do you take people to these different countries, you connect with the people, and there's that cultural exchange and those, and that exchange of resources. So you're doing some amazing things. So family, make sure that you connect with her. Just go to tverse.com. She said the website will be up in about 24 hours. If you need to talk to her immediately, just email info@tverse.com. She'll get right back to you. She's on Instagram and she gets right back to you. All you got to do, go to, I think it's Tverse Culture on Instagram. Hit her up. She'll make sure that she get back to you. Thank you so much for joining, Queen. Peace and Black Power to you. Thank you.
Yes, Black Power. Peace.
Black Power. Family, everyone under the sound of my voice, take a moment out to thumb up the video. Thumb up this video, family. You know how the YouTube algorithm works. The more people thumb up the video, the more they type in comments and share, the more it begins to circulate. We had a dynamic discussion today with some dynamic people. We talked about the Alabama Waterfront Brawl. We talked about DeSantis lying about slavery, right? Changing the narrative of slavery. We talked about that. And family, I want to close by talking about, Biden's Emmett Till and Mamie National Monument. I remember Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and I'm gonna bring Brother Knowledge Born. Brother Knowledge Born, did you get your camera? Is everything good now? Is this the first time I've been with you, Brother Knowledge Born? And oh man, it's still bad, Brother Knowledge Born. It's really blurry. And it's like very blurry and it's choppy. So if you could go back to that other space, that would be great. And I'll let you right back in. So anyway, family, I want to conclude by talking about Biden's Emmett Till and Mamie Till. Well, her name was Mamie Mobley because she did remarry the National Monument. And I remember Dr. Khalid Muhammad said a long time ago, and even Minister Farrakhan, he talked about how, they'll kill our leaders, kill our people, and and then put up a statue, right? Put up a statue, or atrocities or things that atrocities that were committed against our people. Either they lie about it, or they'll shout it out and mention it, and then they'll put up a monument. Like they got a monument of Dr. King, and everyone knows that when Dr. King was alive, they hated him. White America hated Dr. King, right? And so I remember his daughter, I want to say it was Bernadette King, when she was saying one day, it was like during his birthday, and his birthday is a national holiday. She tweeted out, she said, "You all don't even like my father. You never did." And now she said it's all this love for Dr. King. But when he was alive, he was one of America's #1 hated Black men. And not only did he catch hate from white folks, he caught a lot of hate from his own people. There were even a lot of older people back then who were giving him pushback for what he was doing. They gave him a lot of pushback, family. And so, so anyway, they have a history of doing that. They kill our leaders and then they'll name a day after them or something, or give us a statue or something like that. And Black folks get so happy. It really disgusts me when we when we applaud, these symbols, these trinkets that they give us. You'll see Black folks online sharing this stuff on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and they look at what we have. They gave us, So I'm sitting here thinking, like, no wonder white folks believe that they are so, benevolent, right? Because we also aid in that, right? Oh, look at what they did. They gave us a Dr. King monument. Oh, look at what they did. They're giving us a Emmett Till, a national monument, and a Mamie Till Mobley. Mamie Till spent her entire life pleading with the federal government to reopen the case of Emmett Till. And they said, you know what, man, everybody's dead. The judges did, the two guys that killed him, they're dead. We ain't doing it. That's what they did. This woman spent her entire life fighting for them to reopen the case. She said, and just put it on the books, convict them posthumously, put it on the books. And the white folks told them no. I'm not doing that. That's what they said, no, right? And now that she's gone in the physical, now you want to put up a national monument. How about instead of them giving her and the family a national monument, and immortalizing what happened to Emmett Till, which is already done in the Smithsonian Museum of African American History? How about the descendants of Mamie Till and Emmett Till, the family members that we see on a lot of the different documentaries? How about give them some reparations? How about reopening the case and convict those men posthumously and giving the family, some sort of financial compensation? No, does money bring back Emmett Till? Absolutely not. But it could at least, they could give him some money, because he was he was 14 and his life got cut short, right? So he would have been a contributing member to his family. So let's count, like, okay, so if he would have became this, or his average salary per year was this, from the point of 14 until now, let's calculate a total to pay the family, right? And then let's give them compensation on the mental and emotional stress, that the family had to endure because of what happened to him, because of that tragedy. Don't give us a damn symbol. Black people need to start demanding substance over symbols. Substance over symbols. We need to applaud substance, not symbols. And so I'm going to share my screen with you, family. I'm going to share my screen with you. The White House put out a fact sheet. It says President Biden designates Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley National Monument. And I'm going to have to make this big because I really need glasses and I'm being stubborn. Your girl is being stubborn. But it says right here, it says today on what would have been Emmett Till's 82nd birthday. And so this was published on July the 25th, 2023. So it says today on what would have been Emmett Till's 82nd birthday, President Biden will sign a proclamation establishing the Emmett Till and Mamie Till National Monument in Mississippi and Illinois. The new national monument will tell the story of events surrounding Emmett Till's murder, their significance in the civil rights movement and American history, and a broader story of Black oppression, survival, and bravery in America. The new national monument will be anchored at 3 historical sites in Chicago, Illinois, Sumner, Mississippi, and just outside of Glendora, Mississippi. These sites are central to Emmett Till's racially motivated murder in 1955 and the defining events that followed, including courageous activism and leadership of his mother. Shout out to that woman. Peace be upon her soul. Because not only did she fight for justice for her son, Emmett Till, after his murder, she began to fight for justice for other families. I'm sitting here thinking about when I was a young girl, and we talking about early 2000s, there was a brother who was lynched in Mississippi. He was hung. His name was Raynard Johnson. And if you Google that, you'll see that Mamie Till went down there and she was fighting for him as well. So it says right here, the new national monument will also encourage and enable partnerships between the Department of the Interior, the National Park Service, and local communities and organizations to help conserve and interpret a broader network of historic sites that help tell the story of Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley. It says the nationwide coverage of the horrific lynching of Emmett Till, as well as Mamie Till Mobley's courageous efforts to honor her son's story through education and activism, elevated the broader reality of the injustices and inequality that Black people experienced during the Jim Crow era, and helped catalyze the civil rights movement. Mere months following Emmett Till's murder, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white passenger on the Montgomery City bus. She later cited Emmett Till as the reason she would not acquiesce. So it says right here, today's designation builds on the Biden-Harris administration's work to advance civil rights and racial justice, including through the president's signing of the Emmett Till's Anti-Lynching Act that codified lynching as a federal hate crime. The Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley National Monument is President Biden's fourth new national monument and reflects the administration's commitment to protecting places that help to tell a more complete story of our nation's history. How about Biden and Kamala? And how about they intervene with the Tulsa, Oklahoma situation, right? I know that it's getting ready to go to the Supreme Court. I already know that they're getting ready to appeal it. The judge dismissed it, really didn't give them a reason, but dismissed reparations for the 3 survivors who are all in their hundreds right now, early 100s. I think one is like 100, another one is 101, the other one is 102, and these survivors, have been going back and forth to court, seeking reparations for, the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre. Right. And now that I'm sitting here looking at this new Florida standard, the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre will probably be told differently, right? Or taught differently in the school system, right? They'll probably say that Black folks caused it on their own, right? They're doing that. They're also with Florida's new curriculum, they don't even tell why Rosa Parks. They don't give children the context as to why Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat. They don't say that, the buses were segregated and Black people were forced to ride in the back and Black people were forced to give up. They're changing the narrative, family. They already told a jacked up narrative from the jump, as Baba Amin said. They already told a terrible narrative, right? A false narrative. But it's like it's getting deeper. It's like it's not just for the lies. It's like it's getting worse, family. Okay, and that's why we have to, family. That's why we have to make sure that we tell our own story, right? That we tell our own story and that we support the people who are telling the story. All right. And I'm going to show you a couple of things. You want to teach your child Black history at home. Make sure that you get Meltrek. Here it is, family. Make sure that you get Meltrek for your children. Mel is short for melanin. Trek means journey. So we'll take you on a journey to learn about the history, culture, and achievements of melanated people. You can go right to Amazon, type in Meltrek and get Meltrek Episode 1, Exploring Ancient Africa, where you learn that Black people are the mothers and fathers of humanity and that we established great and thriving civilizations. We wouldn't have been able to do that without skills, right? You have Kemet, which was created and established by African people. Kemet thrived for over 3,000 years. They would not have been able to do that without skills. And they want to teach you that slavery taught Black people skills. We came here with those skills, family. So you can get it instantly on Prime Video, or family, you can shoot to Meltrek 365. Hold on, I'm going to type it in. Meltrek 365.com. You go to Amazon and grab it. And you can also go here. Hold on. It's pulling up right now, family. Meltrek 365. Meltrek 365. So what is Dr. Ma'at saying? Dr. Ma'at is saying that we need to be immersed in our history 365 days a year. So they can't come home and they can't tell your child anything, because now we have a generation, right, who knows their history. All right. Hold on. Let me get rid of this. So this is the Meltrek365.com. You come over here and look at this. We have a whole curriculum, family, that you can use to homeschool your children. All right, so come to Meltrek. Look at this, films, books, and the curriculum. So come on over to Meltrek 365. Teach our babies our history. Teach our history. Teach our babies our history. All right? Hold on, family. I'll give you one more. So I know that this is going to be banned. I know that when we drop Meltrek, exploring the Ma'afa Part 1, The Arrival of the Portuguese. I know that they're going to ban this, family, when it comes out. I wanted to release this in August, and I've been pushing my team to get that done. But the reality is we may end up dropping it in September. I really want to drop it in August. I know they're going to end up banning this because white folks won't be shown in a positive light. So, family, I want you to take a moment out to check out this trailer for Meltrek episode. It's actually episode 3, but we call this is going to be a mini series called Exploring My Alpha Part 1. Check out the trailer.
There are many films about slavery told through foreign lenses. Now witness the full story from an African perspective. How did slavery in Africa begin? Who were the major players? Who resisted? Learn the answers and much more in Meltrek, Exploring the Alpha, Part 1, The Arrival of the Portuguese.
Family, I'm not playing around. And I promise you, as sure as my name is Dr. Mod, I promise you, family, that they're going to get this cartoon out of there. I guarantee you it's going to go viral. I already know. And it's going to go viral. I already know. And they're going to get this out of there. We finished the first opening scene. We actually finished scene 1 and scene 2. There are 4 scenes. So there's an opening scene, and then there's scene 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, we finished the opening scene, and we're finalizing scene 1 and scene 2 this week. But I have a clip that I do want to show you from the opening scene. Shout out to the Meltrek team. I'm looking for the latest one. It's so many versions of the opening scene. It's so many versions. Let me see if I see a final one. Okay, let me try this one because I don't want to show you one that has a bunch of mistakes. I'll just show you this one, and this may not be the final opening scene, but I will. Let me see if I can do it by date. If I can show it to you by date. This was July the 7th. Hold on, y'all. I want to show it to you, but I want to give you. That's June the 15th. And this is, I want to show you the latest version. Okay, this is the 13th. And let me look at this one. That's the 13th. Okay, this is July the 20th. Aha. All right, and there may be some errors in this. I don't know. I can't find the one that I labeled. Here we go. Oh. Here we go.
Approximately 300,000 years ago, the first men and women emerged in Africa. These humans produced clans that learned how to make tools, fire, hunt, and cook. Around 160,000 years ago, an ice age occurred that caused ocean levels to drop and droughts in Africa, which forced clans to migrate to southern Africa in search of resources. Around 100,000 to 60,000 years ago, clans began to migrate out of Africa, which eventually led to the human colonization of the planet. Back in Africa, nations grew and evolved. They developed writing, science, technology, engineering, art, mathematics, spiritual systems, and philosophy until the Ma'afa.
And they want to teach our babies. They want to teach you all that that we didn't have any skills until we were enslaved. Like come on. And that we never questioned slavery as if we didn't even have the intellect to analyze what was going on and determine that it was wrong. And so I agree with Baba Amin's point that, you know, that this premise was made based on African people being uncivilized savages, right? That's what it was made on. So anyway, family, I appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Baby Fahodie to everyone under the sound of my voice. African liberation. Uhuru Sasa. Freedom now. Uhuru Sasa. Freedom now. And family, I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll probably go live during the day or maybe in the evening. I'm going to bring on some Aboriginal folks who want to claim that we are indigenous to the Americas, and they want to claim that America is the oldest landmass on earth. Ridiculous claims if you are a student of history. Ridiculous claims if you are a student of science. If you are ridiculous claims if you are scientifically literate and historically literate. So anyway, I'm going to bring them on, family. So make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Head on over to YouTube. Type in Dr. Oya Ma'at. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so that whenever I go live, you're notified and you come on in. And even if you're at work tomorrow, family, you know, we got those iPods, right? You get earphones. Click on the link. And while you're doing your work, slide on in, family. You know, still do your work, but slide on in. All right, family? I'm getting ready to go. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Blacktastic day. God willing, the ancestors willing. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace, Hotep, Amani, Alafiani. Black power.